Welcome to the Sleepy C and Big D Show.
Another season, another time, another episode of the Sleepy C Big D Show. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, here we are, culminating on the end of the year. Last podcast before the 2019 strikes. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about 2019?
2019 is a whole nother thing. I mean, it's just a number. Realistically, it's a day.
Does it? I don't know if I referenced this. You hear that? That's the wine slurring.
The wine slurring.
Just a little bit.
Huh.
I said something like that. But I would like to say that I feel weird. I don't know if I said this already on a previous cast, but I feel like my age, because I'll be 29 this year, I feel like the age 29 is going to be great, but I feel like the year 2019 is not going to be great. Does that make any sense?
Well, it does a little bit. I mean, your birthday's also early in the year.
Right, so I have a lot of it
You're
too.
actually really close to 29.
Right. We're on the cusp. I'm literally about 2 weeks out right now. That's pretty crazy. Oh my god. Did I fucking tell you guys how the lady at the grocery store at Lucky's, she said she ID'd me because I was buying wine and beer for our last podcast, actually. And she said...
Alcohol involved? Is that what you're saying?
She looked at my ID, and which I had out and readily available because I know that I usually get ID'd. And she looked at it and she said, "Oh, looks like 1 more year, or 1 year away from 30. That's what the fuck she said to me.
Oh.
She said it out loud enough for strangers to hear. 1 year away from 30. Gave me like this weird fucking eerie smile, and then handed back my ID.
Wow.
Like, I was in such shock that I didn't even know how to respond. I didn't respond.
Yeah, how do you respond to that?
I just fucking stayed. I was like, yeah, thanks a lot. You can math. Thanks a fucking lot, lady.
Hey, at least she carded you.
Like, you don't think I know how old I am?
Right.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah, looks like you're a year away from 30, shouting it. She might as well have picked up the receiver to make an announcement across
Attention
the whole store.
attention customer, this bitch is old.
It looks like she might be youthful, but don't let that deceive you. This old bag, she's old.
She's past her prime.
She's well past the expiration date, people. Oh, I see you're married. Thank goodness, because 1 more year and you'd have no chance. Right? Like, what the fuck?
Now, was she old?
She was older than me.
Oh, so
you know what I mean?
She's been down that road, and she can only get a job as a cashier.
And
so
maybe
it's
that's
over.
what it was. Maybe that's what it was. She looked like maybe like early to late 40s, and maybe that's what it was. She was just like,
she's done with life
bitch,
as it is.
You're almost 30. I remember when I was 30 and my life was still good. After that, probably not, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine. I mean, I'm not saying that has to do anything with her career choice, although... I don't think she's going to retire anytime soon.
No, probably
That's
not.
all I'm going to leave that on, okay?
Got it.
No hating on anybody that works in cashierial. Is that a word? Cashierial work?
I mean, you tend to make up words, so...
I do make up good words. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're terrible.
Just throw them out there, see if they stick.
But I feel like realistically, that, you probably don't want to be a cashier forever. Just because...
Well, I mean, where do you go from there? Manager, store manager?
I would hope so. I know that my dad's, I would call her kind of like his ex-wife. Either way, his ex. I know that she is a cashier, or was a cashier for, I think, Winco or something like that. And I know that she wasn't very happy with it, is all. You know what I mean? It's not something that... It's not like you grow up... I mean, actually... Quite honestly, I remember when I was young and I used to always be like, ooh, I can't wait till one day I'm going to be a grocery bagger.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck I wanted to be when I was like 8. I was like, oh, I can't wait to bag the shit out of some groceries. And for the record, I'm great at bagging groceries. Like, I could have aspired to be a bagger, and I would have been phenomenal.
Well, that's a new thing that's got me pissed off. So, one, you got to bring your own bags, and then now... You got to bag it pretty much yourself anyways, because there's never a bagger there anyhow.
No.
So what the hell? I don't work there.
So what's
I think we've already talked about this.
What's really, really weird is, you don't... I mean, again, like I said, I am a fantastic bagger. I could take care of it all on my own. But...
Why am I paying extra price then?
What am I doing? Yeah. And again, I don't believe in, I suppose some could argue that that's like mild slavery, like they're bagging your shit for you. But it's like, what the fuck's your job for then?
I mean,
If
that's
you're
why
not doing that-
you're paying extra. I'm sure it's in somewhere included in the price.
They
so
slip it in there some way,
Right.
somehow. It's just like roofies.
yeah,
I mean, one way or another, it gets the job done.
yeah. I mean, then they got their handy little card. Do you have our sticky
Are you a
store
loyalty?
card?
Are you a
Yeah.
loyalty member?
So we can track what you're selling and buying.
And then that way we'll give you receipts based solely off of the things that we know that you want.
Yeah.
And then it kind of traps you.
They're
in this
worse than
vicious
the
cycle.
Google and the CIA phone thing.
You
that
know what though? Super fucking weird. It's getting even stronger powered. I feel like I went to look up earlier how to reset Pokemon X when you're playing it on the Nintendo DS or whatever. And as I was typing it in, I just put how to reset, and then from there it popped up as like the second or third option, how to reset Pokemon X. In
Maybe
3DS.
that's probably a big thing.
I mean, it fucking better be. Otherwise, it's just super weird. I mean, what are the odds, though?
Yeah.
What are the? You know what I mean? There was so many things I could have been how-toing on. How to
True.
reset the? You know what I type in the most? How to reset the oil life on X
Yeah.
type of car.
Right.
And yet the third option was
Nintendo.
that's fucking creepy.
That is a little bizarre.
Hey, good looking out for my FBI guy or CIA guy, whatever the fuck. They're on top of their shit.
Hey.
That's impressive.
At least he's earning his money.
Yeah. At least they're doing their job.
Right. They're not have their back facing you and things like
Yeah.
that.
Or just talking amongst themselves. I notice they do that a lot now at Lucky's.
Yeah.
They'll just have the bagger and the cashier will just have a conversation like I'm
You-
not there.
They listen to our podcast. They know it works.
Yeah, maybe that's that.
If DMV can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, and maybe they're just like, maybe if I just don't say anything to the customer, they won't fucking say anything to me, which I kind of like a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, it's really impersonable. Is that a weird line to draw? Like, I don't want you to fucking talk to me, but you should be polite enough to try?
Well, the problem is they talk to you and they tell you you're old.
Yeah, you know what? That's true too. If,
Well-
haven't they ever heard of if you don't have fucking something nice to say, don't
Right.
say it? I mean, where the fuck were you born?
Was
Who raised
she
you?
laughing at the
Who
time?
raised you?
Like,
Yeah, it was like
you're
it
so
was
young.
like no, not even. It was just like one more year and you're 30. I'm just like, haha, or you're closer to me than I am to death. So, I mean, if we're talking strategically based off of age, not,
Right, of course.
not based
Yeah, you
off of
never
just
know. Yeah,
possible
she
incidents.
may have gotten him. Have you seen her since?
Actually, no, I haven't, because I felt this weirdness, like I should see her again and say something about something else that she said while I was there that we don't need to bring up. But
So apparently she likes talking and talking.
yeah, she and they talk just so openly about
Right.
other customers in front of customers.
Well,
That's
whatever.
something you should be concerned about, I feel like.
Well, that she may not be making store manager.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Which, again, circling back, poor gal, because I feel like that would be the next step for her if she was looking to stay in her field.
Of expertise.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's becoming psychic
But
because
as
she knows you have a
somebody-
year left to go.
Yeah, but as somebody, not even psychic, it's just that she can do math on the quick. You know what I mean?
It's
To
a
be
simple
fair, I
round
haven't.
number.
Yeah, and I was gonna say my birthday's easy. I'm on a decade
You
year. You know?
you and I are the same.
Yeah, what do you write on?
Right on the zeros.
Right on the zeros. Okay.
Yep. Same as you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the same age as my mom. Right?
I don't know. I know how old your mom is.
70.
And don't say... Wow. Okay, well, hopefully your mom doesn't listen to the
My-
podcast.
for the record, just in case you're wondering, my mom is not 70 years old. That sounded like I said that.
I tried to save you, Mom.
Well, I mean, I think she'd be proud of that, actually.
That
She
you,
always
that you
she's-
remembered what year she was born?
Well, not only that, but like whenever we go places like all together, she's like, people are always like, "These are both of your kids. You have 2 grown-up children," and then she gets all flattered, like, "Oh my god, yeah, I know, right?"
What month was she born?
My mother is a Cancer. What
Is
does
that a
make
good
her?
thing or a
July.
bad? July. Okay,
July
so,
12th.
so she's actually a month older than me.
Oh, okay, that's right. Just a little bit,
Yeah.
too, like a month and 6 days or something.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then her man is actually the first, so their birthdays are 11 days apart. So it makes it really easy. I call one, and then a week later I call the other. Or a week and a half later.
That's funny. Yeah, my wife is 10 days before me.
That is super convenient.
Right, and get it out of the way.
Yeah, I
Then you have
actually
the
again.
rest.
Plus, it also makes it really easy for me to remember, just because I like to remember.
Yeah,
So
but you have a shitty memory.
I do, but birthdays come really well to me. I don't know why. I'm actually just super good at it.
I'm super good at birthdays.
Yeah.
You can spiel off and you have just a huge, diverse family that it's got to be difficult.
It's like I have gifts, I have talents in things that aren't even fucking relevant.
Yeah, stuff that's not important.
Yeah, they'll never be helpful.
You got the nod from the wife.
Yeah, it's just like I have like the most random of abilities. It's just like, oh yeah, I can fucking movie memorize. Yeah. Great. You know when that helps me? Only when we're playing movie trivia.
Or on our podcast.
Or if we're just fucking going back and forth feeding off of each other's movie references. Uh-huh. But is it going to help me in the real world? No. Am I going to win Who's Going to Be a Millionaire because I can quote 99% of the movies that I've seen?
It'll be the 0.1% that they ask you about.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like you don't. It's kind of like how when they tell you when you're a kid you're not going to really. Oh, you're going to need math every day. That's not fucking true. Not even a little bit.
Well, that cashier did.
But that's true. But not anymore, really. You know what I mean? It does everything for you. Most things will give you the change. Like, I remember when I used to do pizza delivery, people would try to figure out their math shorthand. Yeah. They'd be like, oh, this would give you, and I would know, like, on the fly, I would know all of my numbers just because I'm trying to be efficient for them.
I stopped doing that because people would get confused. When it's like 2103 and you give them a nickel. And they're like...
And they go, how do I give a change for this?
Now what happened? Wait, why is he giving me a nickel?
Yeah, it's so that you can get a full dollar back.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, that's basic math. And basic math, I feel like, is relevant.
Yeah, that isn't relevant.
Or am I going to need to use geometry every day? Definitely not.
Not for what you're doing. Yeah.
I will say, though, the times that it comes up, and I do need it, I don't fucking know it. But I can Google it, so...
I mean, there's a calculator for everything now.
Right, right. So you know what? I saw that in a post the other day. It
Converters
said
and things.
I just want to laugh at all my old math teachers who said, you're not always going to have a calculator.
Right.
Because, bitch, now we do. On hand, on the ready, all the time. At any available moment.
With your useless knowledge, I know you're in depth on Pokemon.
Oh, yes. For those of you that don't know, I wouldn't call myself a Pokemaster, but I'm a Poke fanatic. And this dates back...
No one should poke the bear.
You know what? That's always a weird thing. Why would anyone ever poke a bear in general?
Then they say to play dead.
Really?
Yeah. But how do you know...
Have you seen that movie Without a Paddle? I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
When he says to get in the fetal position.
Right, yeah.
Turns out that's not the way to do it, as we all learned.
Fetal position and play dead. Well, how do you know that the guy that was killed wasn't playing dead at the time?
And
you don't know that.
And then exactly.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it's real scary. Like, I don't ever remember. That's the thing. Okay, so I have knowledge of stupid facts and things that I don't need to know. But then I don't know, like, other things. Like, do you stare a bear down or do you run from it? Because they're fast.
Yeah, at some point, I'm thinking the bear's going to win regardless.
I just like to not be in a setting where there's bears.
Yeah.
But I do like to go camping. So where do you draw the line on safety versus fun?
Well, the problem with that is you got to be in something. You can't just be in a tent. I mean,
I wish that the bears were just like the bears on the Charmin commercials, where they're just awkwardly singing about shitting themselves and wiping up.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. They're super, super weird.
You have the polar bears for Coke, and they're so cute and fluffy, and then you have these weird-ass bears that talk about their butts and wiping.
And they said they're grinning from cheek to cheek, and that's a weird euphemism about their assholes. Does that mean their asshole is grinning at you?
Well, their crack is smiling, right?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to make sure I'm not mishearing it.
No, you're not mishearing
it. But they literally they put like a little wink basically this is the on usual, that.
Yeah,
We're grinning.
They're winking with the one eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only one.
So you're not the only one.
I totally thought that was the weirdest commercial.
You are the
ever.
one that switched from Pokemon to that, but let's not talk about that.
To be fair, you brought us on to poking the bear, and
well, you know how that works. So yeah, I will give you that one.
All right.
But so you did not get the Switch for Christmas. We talked about that, but you did receive the Bible of Bibles for Pokemon.
Yeah, I actually had a great Secret Santa gift exchange, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I received gifts from my sister-in-law, Lupita, and she got me this super awesome team hat. It's Team Valor.
Shout out to PETA.
Shout out to PETA, and then also shout out Team Valor for Pokemon Go.
Team Valor, let's do that. I'm on that team.
You can find me. Oh, I wish you could find me like that, but I don't know my trainer code offhand. But Sleepy C, that's me. But yeah, I received this awesome. It's called the Deluxe Essential Handbook. It's the need to know stats and facts on over 700 Pokemon.
I had no idea there was that many.
Neither did I originally, because like I said, I'm a true OG. I'm all about the original 151 Pokemon. First gen, if you will.
Yeah.
But to be fair, as I've been playing Pokemon Go and as I've received this awesome handbook and I've been doing more research on them, I've always loved Pokemon, and I think I'm going to continue to love them until the day I die. And this guidebook is really helpful in letting me know which Pokemon have what I like to call super strength Pokemon. They're also known as Mega Pokemon in this book, and also on the game, actually.
Yeah, so as far as the game, I mean, if it wasn't for this game, I wouldn't have got half the exercise that I've gotten in the last 2 years.
That's true.
I've never been to areas that I've been to now just because of this game.
And some of the things you have to get out of your vehicle for.
Right.
Sure. You have to go on little field trips.
You have to you have to walk and do all that stuff, and so as far as facts wise, I'm not big into the weight. I guess the weight does stuff. They have special attacks and things like that. So that I'm not into. I'm just collecting for the Pokédex.
Big D's just here for the Pokédex stats. That's really all he gets.
But now I'm disappointed that there's 700 of them.
Yeah, because we're nowhere near that number, and my Pokemon storage is getting low.
Well, you got to remember the game is for money. That's what a lot of people forget. Oh, I keep
know.
running out of space. Well, it is for profit.
I know. They got to make money somehow. Look, there's a Mega Sableye.
That means nothing.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad because I've been catching more of the Sableye than I need because he doesn't evolve, but turns out he kind of does.
Now, is this book related to the game, or is this related to the original Pokemon?
I was talking with,
which was cards. Is that how that worked?
Yes, Pokemon cards.
So why don't you talk us through what a match would be? Because again, my daughter collected the cards, but she never. I don't believe she actually played the game.
I was more of a collector, also. I'll say that much. I had a big binder full of different
she
Pokemon
did that,
cards,
right?
And of course, you had your shinies, also known as holographic cards.
Okay. Those are the ones that tested the acid or the meth.
Those are the most coveted.
Coveted. Okay.
Yeah, like a Charizard holographic. Woo, that's tits right there. It
Now,
just looked dope. You could like kind of
right.
waver it a little bit.
Did it change though as far as the game concept? Were they better? Were they worse? Or were they just fancy looking?
They were just fancy looking. I don't think they had any better stats or anything like that. No better HP, or their attacks weren't more or less or anything like that.
So I wasn't into Dungeons and Dragons either, but there was like a scoring sheet or something with that.
I didn't get into Dungeons.
Okay, so how
also known as D&D for those that are heavy into it and would like a good reference. D&D.
Perfect. I'm assuming it's still going on.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But so it's like playing cards would have characters on it.
Yes, they have characters, and basically, in order to perform the moves that you needed, you would also need to have energy cards, which came with your deck. Like, you could go buy a deck of 60 Pokemon cards, and probably 20 of them would be energy cards, and the other 40 would be Pokemon cards. Any, basic. It might even be a 30-30 split. I don't remember. It's been a while. But you'd have the energy cards, and if you played it legitimately, then you would use those energy cards to perform your attack. It would take like one green leaf energy card and one, a water card or whatever the fuck you needed to perform your attack. You could do that attack, and however much damage it would cause to the other Pokemon, you would just have to physically, do the math real quick. This is where that shorthand math comes in.
Right. Hello math teachers.
If your HP is, 130 for your Charizard, I think is the number. I'm not positive, but 130, and then the attack that gets, that you get hit with is 60, then you're looking at, you got, 70 left? Yeah.
So the main number, like the 2400 or whatever, does that matter anything, or is that your combat?
Well, that's more so for the Pokemon Go. We didn't have that when it was just the games. You
okay,
only
so
had
that
a
is
certain HP.
Okay, so HP was what you went after.
Right.
Now,
right.
does the large and the small, does that matter?
It does in the Pokemon Go, I think.
Okay, so
but they didn't have that on Pokemon cards. There was no XLs or extra smalls or anything
okay,
like
so
that.
basically you were just your hit points was your main thing.
Yes.
Okay, so that explains a lot.
Which, if you'll notice, the hit points is on there on the Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
It's that bar, that green bar. That's not the same as the combat power.
Okay.
which is your 2300, 2400.
So that's something
what
that they've added into the Pokemon Go version, whereas the
Yes.
card version didn't have that. Well, obviously because you can increase it where you can in
in the
the
Pokemon
app.
Go game, right, where you can power them up or what
Right.
have you. I do think though that they did have the option. I think there was a way to exude a higher power if you had more energy,
Like an
cards.
energy card
Yeah.
booster or some
Yes,
sort.
Yes, I believe so. But again, I wasn't huge on actually playing the game. I was more so of a. That's when I was all about the Pokedex collecting.
Okay.
I just wanted one of every card.
Well, that's what they say. Catch them all.
Yes, absolutely. That was the whole goal. But I will say, like I said, I stopped off at the original 151 is where I pretty much called it. I didn't really go. I didn't delve further.
The expansion.
I as far as Game Boy went, I played Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, and Yellow. But I didn't get into Pokemon X or Pokemon Y, which Pokemon X I do now have on that 3DS. That's pretty exciting.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that. I heard that's where you'll see a lot of the Mega Pokemons.
Okay.
So I'm looking
Now, what do you
forward to
do on that? You just basically walk around, and is it like
It-
the Pokemon game?
It appears equivalent to the Pokemon game on Game Boy, which, for those of you that know, you just travel from town to town. You start in Pallet Town as Ash. But on Pokemon X and Y, you can choose male or female, whoever you want to be. They don't have trans
But I mean, you
fluid
see
or whatever.
Pokemon throughout town, and you throw stuff at them, like on
Yeah,
Pokemon Go,
so
or
if you're walking through tall grass, is what they refer to it as. If you're walking through the tall grass, you can encounter different Pokemon.
Okay.
This is on the Game Boy game.
Mhm.
So it's similar to Pokemon Go, but in Pokemon Go, you'll see these Pokemon everywhere.
right?
Whereas on the Game Boy game, because it's not real time or based
Yeah.
off of our
GPS,
GPS tracking, it would just be you're walking town to town. And if you're walking in a high grass area, or if you're in a cave
Huh?
and you're walking in caves, you can definitely come across Pokemon. And they won't be there visibly until you run into them. And then it'll say, oh, a wild Pokemon appeared, and it'll start you into a battle.
Gotcha.
And then you can try to run from that battle. If they're a weak enough Pokemon, you'll get away if you don't want to battle them. If they're not, you might get trapped into battling them. It's just, hit or miss. It's cool, though. You go to, instead of doing how on Pokemon Go we apply our potions and whatnot right there on the fly,
Uh-huh.
On the Pokemon Game Boy game, you would have to go to an actual, hospital, Pokemon hospital,
Right.
and they would rejuvenate all your Pokemon. They'd heal them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called a Poke Center. That's what I was trying to think of right now. I couldn't
Nice.
think of
So all in all, it's essentially it's a violent game.
kind
There's
of
a
to
lot
an
of
extent.
fighting,
Definitely
battling,
fighting,
throwing.
battling, Pokemon fainting, and then it's real weird. Like your Pokemon player, like he kind of bitches out if you end up losing all your Pokemon. If they all faint during battle, you end up fainting, which is kind of gay, but whatever. I don't know. Like I find it hard to believe. Like at the end of the match, you're like, oh my god, my Pokemon, and then you just pass out or what?
Well, it's like you're heartbroken.
Yeah, you just can't handle
you know,
like the adrenaline was so
broken heart
strong,
disease. Yeah,
and you just fucking lose it at the end. I
you
don't
just
know.
can't take it that your Pokemon. Well, so they're not dead. They're just fainted, or they'll be revived. It's just at this point they're just all.
Exactly, they're just useless in their Pokeballs.
Yeah.
So it's not like you need to go passing out too. What good is that going to do anybody? Plus, it costs you money for a hospital visit. It's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, I can see why the cards would be easier.
Yeah.
And
That'd be a
now,
plus side.
and then the rule, I guess, as if you lost, the cards get taken.
Well, it depends on how you play. You can play like that. I'll play for keeps.
Right.
I'll play for keeps. But you can play like that. I wouldn't recommend it, especially not if you're using, a valuable card. But it also begs the question of, do you even play that valuable card in the first place?
Right. I mean, if it's a valuable card, it must mean, it's a strong card.
Typically, but you also got to be careful. You never know what they have. It's like, in the old Western movies where they're hiding an ace up their sleeve.
Right.
You never know what they have in their deck. They could have a fucking Blastoise, and when yours is a Charizard, and then you're really fucked because that's a water Pokemon versus a fire Pokemon, and they're going to have the upper hand.
Okay,
Which is
so
a natural
fire,
advantage.
water, grass versus snow.
Grass, it's like a triangle. Well, this goes back to the original
Right.
Pokemon, where now they have so many different ones, so many different
And
types
there's
of
multiples,
Pokemon.
right?
Yes.
You can have a water and a grass, but you just can't have a water and a fire, maybe, or
Well,
even that's possible.
I'm not sure if they have combos of that. I'd have to look into my Pokedex that I have currently. But there probably are, because I know that there are, like Gyarados.
Uh-huh.
Gyarados is a water Pokemon. He evolves from Magikarp. But he can do Dragon Rage, which is fire. It's
Okay.
a fire move. So it's really weird. Like
Because
I
I know
said, it
mine
can
have
kind of go either way.
mine have Typhoon or something like that. Is also an attack, but it's not fire.
Yeah, you could have different moves. That's what I was saying with the different options that you have. If you do the appraisals,
Okay.
I know you don't really care about that because you're more just for the Pokédex.
Right.
And when it
But
comes down,
but I'm talking about the card game.
oh.
So
Well, then in that
on the
case,
cards,
no. On
like
the cards, it's always going to say the same moves, to my knowledge.
okay.
The
Now,
only...
does your book have the attacks?
No.
Okay, so
Oh,
basic...
you know what? Actually, I think it does. I think it references all the available attacks that they have.
So just pick a random one, and tell us about it.
All right, so then let's. Gosh, I really want to. You put me on the spot there. Oh, here, let's do Farfetch'd.
Farfetch is a bird of some sort.
Yes, he's one of my personal faves.
He just flew into the microphone.
Yes, that was the flapping of his wings,
Yeah.
as you all heard. But Farfetch'd is one that was actually originally, as far as Pokemon Go goes, it was only available in the, where was that, Europe, I believe?
Oh, is he one of those?
Yeah, he was one of the special ones, but we were able to get him via hatching an egg.
Okay. I thought it was just the mime, the kangaroo.
Mr. Mime, Kangaskhan, and Farfetch were the ones we could not get.
Okay.
Tauros is the one that we have in North America that nobody else could get if they lived elsewhere.
Okay.
But anyways, so this book shows Farfetch'd. It shows him as a wild duck Pokemon, which again is weird. Sometimes I feel like it's weird how they categorize them because he is the only wild duck Pokemon.
Now, wild duck means that he's like an animal?
He's just a duck type bird.
Okay. So you out of all of 700, you picked the weirdest one.
I wouldn't say
just
the
by
weirdest.
opening. Like, what's give us a basic 151.
Well,
You said when
he's from 151.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's your typical normal one that's not.
All right. So let's go with then in that case.
Are those by number order or by name order?
This is by name, unfortunately.
Okay,
I
so
wish
I
it
was
was
just gonna
numerical.
throw out a number and have but
If it was numerical, that would be better. But it's okay. Here we have Charmander.
Okay.
And now that's what I find is weird is, okay, so Charmander, for example, he's a lizard Pokemon.
okay.
But his evolution of Charmeleon is a flame Pokemon. So their type of Pokemon can change. Not only with their just evolution of changing into something else, but let's see. So it gives the description, which this is actually the description that the Pokédex gives. If you look on that on Pokemon, if you're playing it on the Game Boy game,
Right.
if you look up the information, it'll say this. The flame on Charmander's tail tip indicates how the Pokemon is feeling. It flares up in a fury when Charmander is angry. It shows him his possible moves are Scratch, Growl, Ember, Smoke Screen.
Smoke screen.
Sorry. Dragon Rage, Scary Face, Fire Fang, Flame Burst, Slash, Flamethrower, Fire Spin, and Inferno. I can tell you for sure that Smokescreen, Growl, Ember, Dragon Rage, Scary Face, these are all ones, in fact, except for Inferno is the only one I can say that I haven't seen, but these are all ones that I've seen on the Pokemon Game Boy game.
Okay.
So those are all moves that are available there.
So on a card, you would have one of
But on the card, if I'm
one or
not
two
mistaken,
of each of those moves.
if I'm not mistaken, on the card the moves are Scratch and Growl.
Okay.
If I'm not, but it might be Scratch or it might be Scratch and Flamethrower. But I know that that's the lower level. So then once you move up to Charmeleon, you'll get more options of different moves. It looks like actually it shows here though that all his moves are the exact same as Charmander's, and it's not in fact until he becomes Charizard, which also notes that he's a flame Pokemon. But he has cooler moves like Flare Blitz, Heat Wave, Dragon Claw, Shadow Claw.
So he's always some sort of fire then.
Yeah, but he also does have, yes, definitely no water, that's for sure. But they do show that there's two versions of the Mega Charizard. He can either be Mega Charizard X or Mega Charizard Y. Mega Charizard X has blue flames.
Okay.
He's like a black and blue. It's almost like on Pokemon Go.
Right, the
you have
shinies or whatever they call them.
But instead, they're just Mega versions, which, from my understanding, it's just more of the Mega is more of a phase that the standard Charizard can go into.
So
It's like Mighty Morphin Time, but of Pokemon.
So there's a fourth evolve of Charizard then?
But it's not an evolution, I don't think.
But it's so it's not a real thing.
No, it's just a phase that they can go into. If they're super crazy hyped up, they can go mega. Like it's like going extreme.
Like a super attack.
Yes. But then they would revert back to being regular Charizard after the battle, for example.
You sound like such a nerd.
I'm sorry. It just comes so naturally. You know?
Are you right?
It's, again, you can feel the affinity for the Pokemon. Have I already spoke to you about my ideas of tattoos for my Pokemon?
No, let's hear this.
All right, so I originally was thinking, well, first off, I definitely want to get Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. It's the 3 evolutions. They're all evolutions of each other.
Okay.
I recently found out that Gengar actually has a Mega Gengar, but I don't know how I feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
But again, for sure, Ghastly, Haunter, and
because
Gengar. Well, honestly, they're hilarious. They're kind of like goofy Pokemon. You know, if you watch the old shows, I believe it's still on Netflix right now, and you could find it. It's the Indigo League.
Uh-huh.
But it's Ash Ketchum and Brock.
And these are originals, right?
Yes, these are originals. And this is also loosely based off of the Game Boy game, too.
Okay.
So you're going to travel through the towns that you do in the Game Boy game. And then Misty, and she's from Cerulean City. So where was I going with that?
Where your tattoo? Why you're?
But in those in that show, the 3 evolutions, Ghastly, Gengar, and Haunter, they're all like goofy characters, you know, like they like to play tricks and
Well, why the 3 then? Why not just which is your favorite of the 3?
Probably Gengar, but they're all great. Haunter's laugh is fucking hilarious. And he goes, Haunter, Haunter, Haunter. Like, the way he says it, it's just...
But you can't hear it as a tattoo.
No, but I'll know. I'll always know.
We'll get you one of those little sound effect buttons you push on it.
Oh my god. You could do that. You know how they have that now, where the tattoo, it can be sound waves, and you run your phone over it, and it can be somebody's voice.
I've seen or heard something about that.
I think that's super cool, like for like loved ones that you've lost or something. You know, like if I could have my grandmother's voice on me, I totally would do it.
Got it.
My great grandmother. Actually, I have either of all of my grandmothers.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's neither here nor there because we're not doing that right now.
Right. We're talking about Gengar and.
But my new favorite, well, not even new favorite. I told Rosa I wanted to get Alakazam for sure, also because he holds 2 spoons. He's a telekinetic Pokemon, so he does a lot of mind powers, right? Well, the spoons also help him get like a stronger signal, basically.
Oh, because it's metal?
But, yeah, so what I was thinking was I would get like an Alakazam tattoo, but have it be like a fork and a knife instead of 2 spoons. Mainly because, really, I don't hardly ever use spoons in my eating. It's typically always a fork. Maybe I'd get 2 forks. I don't know. Maybe I'd get a fork and a spoon, because I do use spoons for my cereal and soup. I don't know. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, they are.
So that was my idea. But then I saw in the book that there is actually a Mega Alakazam.
Oh.
And that is now, like...
Damn the book.
Yeah, it's really fucked me up, okay? Because if you look on here... Alright, so it'll say Alakazam. Let's see, we got Abra. Let me get there. Let me just show you guys for...
Yeah, while you're looking for that, the issue is you're kind of limited on your space for, those that haven't seen you, that you're quite... inked up at this point, so
I still got a lot of what do you call that, free real estate. I have pretty much the majority of both of my legs, so I think that's where these are going to go, because my leg was going to be used mainly for superheroes, but I figured I could kind of do like a mix and match, like a superheroes and Pokemon, and I don't know, maybe we can make it some sort of crazy creative mashup. If you look up like tattoo mashups online and or
is that
Instagram,
a thing now?
That is totally a thing. Well, I've seen it more so in like they do tattoo artists will do like battles against other artists, and they'll do like winners of the day or whatever, and it'll be like Star Wars versus dinosaurs. And so they'll put like, it just depends on what the artist comes up with, but each one will give a different idea, and sometimes they'll have like it'll be like Darth Sidious as a Triceratops or something fucking badass, It's so sick though. I mean, the concept, the idea is super sick. Like, I would totally get that tattoo.
But so, I mean, you're just going to have Gengar, just Gengar right there, and then just the 3 evolves in a row? Or how does that work?
I was thinking I could do something. I'm still trying to work on it. I'm working out the kinks, okay? But I'm thinking that I could do something like the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Okay.
Because there's 3 of them.
Right.
Right? So again,
and we're not going
just
to
an
include the
idea.
mega.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that because it wasn't what I grew up with.
Okay.
That's not going to be. I mean, I'm all for it now, and I'm supportive of it. But if I'm going to keep it real and keep it true,
Right.
I got to go with what I know, and that's what I know.
Okay.
But that also brings me to my next issue,
Yeah.
is the fact that there's a Mega Alakazam, and as you can see, those of you that can't see, I'm sorry, you're going to have to Google him, but it's a Alakazam with much more wisdom. He's got like a full Merlin's beard.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he's got 5 spoons that float above him for
Yes.
the stronger range of his telekinesis powers.
I like it.
So I was thinking, though, because, again, for those of you that can't see, these spoons are arranged above Mega Alakazam, almost in a crown-like fashion.
Correct.
And, or even a glory ray fashion, if you're thinking of it in that sense. But I was thinking the 2 most outer spoons could be chopsticks. Then the 2 inner could be a spoon and a fork. And then the very center spoon could be a knife.
Yeah.
And then I have my full arrangement of feeding
equipment.
utensils.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I don't know.
Do you like the older, more wisdom looking one though, or can you not
I kinda
add
do.
it to the original and just?
I can kind of see him right on the top of my, right above my kneecap, like on the top of the quad.
Yeah, and he's a bit of a yellow color.
He's interesting, but I think I would go black and gray.
Okay.
And just give him maybe a little bit of highlighting color because I feel like in the Pokemon games he's usually shown with purple backlighting, like a purple.
Okay. Well,
So
that
that would give him
specific one.
Well, no, not Mega Alakazam because I don't know
You've
that
never
frame
seen
of
him.
reference.
Okay.
But he is a psychic Pokemon, so especially on the Pokemon Go game, if you look at any of Abra, Alakazam, Kadabra, they all have like a purplish background, and I feel like that purple would make them pop even more. Pop!
Oh, there it is.
I feel like the purple background would make the black and gray pop a little bit more.
Okay.
I feel like that's a really cool way to do some artwork. If you do all black and gray, but then give it a little bit of coloring accent. Like I have a pirate lady on my leg, and she has very minimal, like just her eye coloring is blue, and then her tattoo. My tattoo has a tattoo, and
Lovely.
it's blue, but the rest of the tattoo is all black and gray, and I think it looks super cool, the contrasting.
Right.
So I think that would be a cool idea. But again, I'm super still stuck on the idea of just doing the Alakazam with the fork and the knife. I think that's cool.
The spoon always reminds me of Matrix.
I know, bending the spoon. And I think that's where the Matrix got it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, maybe not really, but
Well, he could be.
but it's a possibility.
It is.
Because otherwise, where did they come from before that? I mean, who thought of using spoons and bending spoons as
Right.
telekinetic powers?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So, I mean, but now you going back to the Gengar, so that I can understand just because of the food related with the spoons, but the Gengar, the Ghastly, and those.
I love laughter.
Okay.
I love it so much. Have you heard my wife's laugh?
I have.
She reminds me of like a human haunter.
Oh, God.
Not in the sense that they laugh similarly, not at all.
No.
But just that they're like overzealous laughter. It's just so great. It warms the soul, like that episode of that Pokemon show. I love that episode. Just listening to Haunter laugh.
Gotcha.
So good. And Gengar, he's always grinning. I think it would be really cool because all the Pokemon that I'm interested in would have great backdrops of purple. Like they could have all have purple for their back coloring.
So a purple shade with
If I did them as black and gray and then had their background be purple to make that pop.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Got it.
So Alakazam, I think Mew and Mewtwo would be other great Pokemon to add because one, they're some of
rare.
my favorites and they're rare. But also they can have that same black and gray with the purple background, and it would really bring things out.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
again,
I can see
this
all
is
that.
in theory.
You
These are ideas that I have. So, I'm looking forward to the next step, which would be putting those ideas into perspective process by talking to my guy that I usually go to and seeing what he can come up with.
Right.
I also would want to kind of like make them, like I said, I don't know if I do the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, but I would try to incorporate some other type of thing into it.
Do
like,
they all have hands and stuff like this?
Ghastly doesn't. He's the only
Okay.
one without them, so it kind of makes it a little bit weird. But I figured
Just
we
don't
could-
put a mouth on them?
Yeah, or something, or keep his mouth closed, or I'm not really sure yet how to incorporate.
But you would have to have the evolution in order also. So.
Right. I I would do it almost like the simulation of the moon phases.
Okay, nice.
I've got these ideas. These have been, you can tell, these are not just on the spot.
Right.
Like I've definitely put thought into these, and I want them to really, really be
to ring out and stand
and really
tall.
express me.
Yeah.
Like even if I don't do it like that, like the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. If I do it like maybe Gengar's throwing up a West Side. You know what I mean? Like I could be with that. Just something to kind of personify them in my direction, like the style of me.
Love it.
Essence.
Well, once you get the GoFundMe site up, we'll let everyone know, and we'll start taking donations for the artwork,
and maybe even ideas if people want to send in concept drawings, things that they
thought of or tried or seen with those characters
or
stuff
interested in, and they don't have the balls to go get a tattoo of it.
Right.
I might be that person, but again, I'd have to be sold on it. And if you can incorporate all the Pokemon that I've so far listed,
the 4.
Also note that Gyarados would have to be in there, although purple isn't really his background color. But
why does he have to be in there?
Well, just because he's a badass, but he's one of my favorites.
Okay, you mentioned him, that's why.
Oh, but in general, I'm sorry. I know I didn't mention him at this juncture, but it's also, like I said, it's difficult because I'm trying to incorporate them in a way that ties them together, and I feel like that purple offsetting would bring them, all the ones that I listed together, but not so much Gyarados is the problem.
That makes sense. I mean, the color scheme is huge, so...
Right, and I just, again, I want it to be flowing as one. I don't want it to seem like pieced together. I want one collective piece of artwork.
Yeah, not just a bunch of stuff here, and it has nothing to do with the rest of it.
Not to say you can't do that. My right arm is a rando arm. I call it my rando arm. Mm-hmm. It's just got various things that I like. I've got a little bit of Harry Potter on here, and I've got some skulls and some ships and some skate companies and some sayings and some wordings.
Yeah, but
it's a mix and
Pokemon,
match.
you have to,
But that's the thing, is the rest of, other than my rando arm, the rest of my work is pretty much, centralized around one theme. Like my left arm is going for a Nightmare Before Christmas look.
Right.
I did have a couple ideas for my back. I'm a little hesitant to go, though. I told Rosa for a long time I like the way my back is currently, as in not touched yet by any ink. Well, not fully, really, but... but it's just
limited.
I had wanted it cleaned for the wedding,
right?
And now that the wedding is done, I'm kind of like, well,
Pokemon that bitch.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, look at all this free real estate we got. Let's kick it into gear.
I know where you can fit 151 of them.
I fucking should just do all of them.
Just Pokédex.
Do it like not even like a Pokédex, but like they used to have it. I think it was on the show where they would compile them all into one big, like, not, I don't want to use the word orgy, but that's probably the best fitting, but it'd be like one smorgasbord of
just
Pokemon,
everywhere,
of all of them.
Yeah.
And they'd be in one big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So that's a strong possibility. Damn it, Dave. Now you've given me a whole nother idea.
Someone's got to do it, and then that still leaves your superhero space.
But there's also Pokemon I fucking wouldn't want on me. Jinx? Fuck that bitch. I mean, I know some people will argue that, she's actually
You're a
powerful,
cat lover.
But, no. Cat lover.
Oh, Jinx.
You're thinking of Jinxie.
Yeah.
Mr. Jinxie from Meet the Parents.
Right.
Although we did reference that earlier. But,
yeah.
just for this, I'm talking about that
the little tramp.
Crazy little tramp. Yeah, I'm just like, she looks fucking wild. She looks like a walker of the night, okay? We all know what...
Exactly.
It's too much going on.
You are one pathetic loser.
Jinx, tricks, it was close enough, right?
Yeah. So I'm not crazy about... And that's the thing, is like, I wouldn't want every Pokemon.
Okay, well, you're not doing the Pokédex, so you could have, like, a cluster of the ones that you like.
That I do like.
So,
yeah, that would be
other
pretty
than
cool.
that, sounds like...
I'd have to get wife's approval, I think. I don't know how she'd... I know I previously had talked about the ideas of doing a full Jurassic scene on my back, or a full underwater scene.
Okay.
But,
Swimming with dolphins, things like that?
Not so much dolphins, more like shark-infested water, maybe a broken pirate ship at the bottom.
You've done the pirate ship, though.
And that's another factor. And that's
you
the thing
can't
is,
duplicate. I mean, you have a pirate here, you have a pirate there, and a pirate on the back.
And
I mean, come on.
And one day I'll have a shark on my neck, probably. So
yeah.
It's just like, realistically, I've kind of...
Spider across your face.
No. My wife said I can't get any face tattoos.
Oh, is that a thing?
She's drawn the line there.
Yeah, like
I
you
mean,
really wanted to.
She did say, for the record, she said, I mean, it's your body, but she would really rather me not do that.
Is that
And,
something you would even consider?
I mean, I told her I was going to get Rosita across my eyebrow like a true thug. You
Wow.
know, that's how you show real love, right?
Big 6'9" on your cheek?
No, I can't do that.
Okay.
Um,
Cross your throat? Well, not to be rude, but I'm going to actually stop you here because I feel that this is something that we can go deeper into.
we can go for days on
Yeah,
this.
so let's put a hold on it, like you say. Put a bookmark here.
We're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that. And get back on this. We hope that you enjoyed the episode, essentially of the Pokemon and the GoFundMe site. We'll set that up and see
We'll
what
get
we
back
can
to
get
you
on
on
that. Yeah, like as always, we appreciate you listening. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, iTunes, Spotify.
Drop us a comment, for Christ's
Or
sakes.
somebody, just write something. Just even put a smiley face for whatever it takes.
Or an unhappy face.
Unhappy.
Who gives a shit?
Exactly. Our Twitter's up and running. Our email is always there. You can comment on Castbox or on any of the other media that we're on. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. We're everywhere now. Once again, thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.